Welcome, people of the internet, it's me KMD, and welcome to the first ever Dredge match review on this channel, Twitch, etc. Today on the cutting block we have Siberian, who has 726 hours in the game, and he's in our chat. Hello. So 62, not 76. Siberian has 762 hours in the game, which is a bit less than what I would consider an intermediate DBD player, since I consider an intermediate DBD player who should know like most of the fundamentals in the game at 1000 hours. Let's see. You are, of course, playing Dredge because of the Dredge match review. You're playing on Azeroth's Resting Place, which is a tough map. Like one of the worst maps for the skiller because of the chainability of every single loop on the map. And also the lockers can work, but also can be a bit underwhelming. But I think the corners are the main offender here. The middle is like clamored with lockers, but the middle of the map is easily chainable, even if you do your best to do your best with your remnant. But still, it's really tough. So, from the entry points, you have a bit of a disadvantage, but I think you still have a fighting chance. Let's look at your perks and look at your add-ons. Okay, so you're running Automarian Writing and Field Recorder. That's a pretty good combo. Like there are two like ultra like not ultra strong, but like two typical best combos for the Dredge, which is Hades Calendar and Automarian Writing, and Automarian Writing and Field Recorder. You chose the more sweaty add-on, quote unquote. Automarian Writing shortens your daytime cooldown by 2 seconds, and Field Recorder begins Nightfall at the start of the game and at the end, and also gives survivors exhausted while they break their remnant, which is a bit of a bonus. So your add-ons are completely fine. Let's look at your perks. You have Surge, Pain Resonance, Coup, and Friends to the End. This build is pretty solid. It has a Chase perk, an Info perk, and 2 slowdowns. The only issue here I'm seeing is that you chose Surge for a secondary slowdown, which Surge is a bit of a map-dependent perk. So like you're running a map-dependent killer on a map-dependent with a map-dependent perk. I'm not sure about that. I would, for example, suggest Gift of Pain to possibly extend the duration of doing generators and also be able to intercept their healing. And also, Gift of Pain has an indirect bonus to you, the Dredge specifically, that you are. Gift of Pain gives them Mangled and Hemorrhage, which will give you more Nightfall because survivors will spend more time injured and they will have more time to give you Nightfall charges. Plaything is anti-synergetic on Dredge because you already are stealthy, so they don't have to care about cleansing Plaything and can just stick to gems, since most of your chases will begin with teleporting to a locker, so it's not really... you are really telegraphed at the beginning of the game, so Plaything is like counterintuitive. Since they are not going, if they're good and know what they're doing, they're not going to cleanse totems. Okay, let's get into the game. Okay, so we instantly start teleporting, that's good. Okay, I know I'm instantly pausing, but there's something I would mention here. You may not like be well known with every map in the game, but I think like that fragment of time was a bit too long between teleports. I would make sure to teleport a bit faster, since you have a chance to maybe grab someone who's locking a locker, and hesitation while teleporting most of the time is not a good thing. There's some scenarios where you should hesitate in between lockers, but early game is definitely not the scenario. You want to triangulate the location of the survivors, which will come with game sense with time, and you want to move as quick as possible to detect your first survivor to begin the first chase. So I would work on that. Okay, so you didn't find anyone. You're still on the... Okay, you did find someone. You're still on the correct side of the map, which is good. You found this arena crouching behind a generator. I did not notice her, that's good on you. If you started the launch earlier, I think you would make that. Let me rewind that real quick. Yeah, I would start the launch like here and move my mouse so I can possibly injure her. If not, even starting the launch here, I think if you short swung into the pallet would give you the hit. You decided to swing a bit later. Yeah, like right now here, she's in launch range. If you know how to curve your mouse around like this collision, you would get the hit. Even here, in this specific frame, if you started the launch, she would get hit. Unless aim assist fucks you over, then you can't... I mean, you can't really consistently like adjust for aim assist, so... I would personally swing way earlier here. You just gave her the free pallet. Okay, you check if there's some lockers there. Make sure to remember that information to not commit the same mistake later. You could have placed a remnant... You still have to range launch distance? That's okay. It will come with time. You could have placed the remnant here, and then start doing earth-sinking movement, and either predict or pay attention to her movement to cut her off before she reaches the window or the pallet. You already could have placed down the remnant, and you just decide to hold W. Now that's a bit too late. And you let go, because you let her hold W to the edge map, and she's about to get to Shack. If not, then there's a path tile here. Does she make the window though? She wasn't looking around her. That's on her. You get this hit because she made a mistake, not because you played well. Also, like, I just want to say this straight up, like, match reviews are like the final destination you go to for like feedback. So like, I'm gonna be harsh. I know I'm gonna be harsh, but I'm doing this in like your interest. So like, don't take that as a personal attack. I just like, you know, I'm like being straightforward with you. Yeah, okay. Okay, you got the search value, which is nice. You could make that Scorch Hook. You can make that Scorch Hook. God damn it. It's very important when you bring Pain Resonance to get your first Pain Res as soon as possible. Best case scenario, you get it on your first down. You could realistically make that hook. There was no one around. But you decided to go for the normal hook. You would make that. If I remember correctly, the time you have, the wiggle time is either like 12 or 16 seconds. I think it's 16 seconds. You would definitely make that hook. Not the one on the hill, the one on the left there. You would definitely make that. Wait, I need to check something real quick. You hear her scream on the generator from Surge, and you proceed to not go there, but instead go for this person. You know where someone is way closer that you don't even need to teleport. And like, this isn't even close to the generator. You TP, like you couldn't even TP closer to her. You had a way easier target on that generator that got affected with Surge. You could have gotten an easy chase there. Since that side of the map is way less problematic because you have a main building here that is really, really tough, and you are relying a lot on prediction. Meanwhile, that area is essentially just path tiles and a dead zone. You took the wrong target here. To be fair, it is your like friends till the end, but this is way too far to access the friends till the end to get the expose down. So even if you use the info to begin the new chase, there is an easier survivor to chase there. A useful thing you can do when you're learning how to play Dredge on every map is to just go into a custom game and look around the map to see around where lockers spawn, and like before you teleport, think if you can realistically close the distance between the survivor and the locker. I live yes. Because like this is way too far to get the value out of exposed, which will sacrifice way too much time chasing her on the harder side of the map than the survivor in a weak side of the map. Because realistically, she only has Shack there. A bad Shack. As far as in place, Shack is really weak. Yeah, she can heal you from here too. Also, never break that wall. Never ever break that wall when you're playing Dredge. Because you can just like easily encircle them here. Never ever break that wall. On Dredge. Wait. Where did she go? Okay, so she runs. She was probably behind that bus or went to the loop side. You're kinda wasting your time here. Yeah, you're wasting your time. She went like there. Okay, you come back to Hook. You got second stage, because her teammates didn't save her. Could have used Remnant here. Okay, she's puffing really weird. So she just gives you the free hit. Tunnel the Zarina, tunnel the Zarina, tunnel the Zarina. She's farming in your face, tunnel the Zarina. Good. Nice. Good corner protect. Oh. Nice. Okay. You got one person dead at 2 gens left. That's the good result. Because as a killer in DBD, you should have someone dead before 2 gens are left. I don't want to talk about that. That's crazy. That's unfortunate. See? If you got that painless earlier and you attacked the person that was closer to you working on a generator, you would probably get like 3 hook states now. And like not on the same person, you would be spread out. And also they wouldn't save Zarina. The fact that they didn't save Zarina now is them fucking up. Realistically, they should instantly noticing the fact that you attacked them with Surge and heard the scream. They should bum rush to and then didn't come to them to chase them down. They should bum rush the hook and instantly unhook, since they know you're like on this second side of the map. This is them fucking up here. Fortunately, your friends till the end is really close, so maybe you'll get that exposed down. Don't. You had no reason to teleport to that. Even I sometimes made a mistake, but she didn't even vault inside. Why would you teleport to this locker? This is not zoning. Okay, she's clicking her flashlight. That's not cool range. Respect to that. I would hesitate too, don't worry. You can swing. Too late. Was that intentional? Okay. Your issue is really like you're really overly teleporting. You have to like if you see a generator aura, try to like teleport to gens that are like on the left or on the right, not necessarily behind them. Unless you have no other option. Because that's easier to triangulate the location of and judge the distance of than when they're like behind each other. Because this is the second time this happened. Good on you for disengaging that chase, by the way. Because you probably if you kept going for her, you would probably like lose another generator. You could have left like if you swung earlier, you could have like left her injured there, so you could get nightfall gain. But hey, at least you disengage the sails. You recognize that you're not going to get her in a reasonable time. Nice. And that's why Seaback Summon is on a gen is on. A gen is almost completed. This is not a consistent measure. Like realistically, you don't know if they're in a swift. So I wouldn't disengage and engage in a chase based on that. Sometimes it's just BM. For the sake of BM. This is not a pattern that repeats. Nice. Hold on. I think you get it before they pop. Nice. Get Kate. Nice. Okay, Slagjon is out low progress. Don't really have to check on that for now. Nice. Okay, you should flag this. Yes, good. Nice. Jump out instantly. If you hit Killer Instinct, jump out instantly and just look wherever the survivor is. I would hold her here till she gets a hook state, but realistically you can also just do this. Oh, she had Unbreakable. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I would injure and go back to hook. Go back to hook. No. If a survivor gets off with Unbreakable, and there's a survivor on hook, and there's a heavy survivor that is like further, they're going to go on hook 100%. And realistically, it's better to go for the injured survivor and trade than go on a chase with someone on a fresh hook. Because I don't remember you hooking this with Michaela. Also, if you go back for the survivor that's unhooking, you have a possibility to farm and just down both of them. And then make it another stack situation. So... You didn't, but like, as soon as you see someone get like Yellow of Unbreakable... Wait, actually, let me rewind that, because you might be right, actually. 1 second. Yeah, like, you played this. You get off the ground. You could lunge here, like, instantly. You don't have to save the stack. That was a normal lunge. Yeah, you could save, like, a few seconds, but just by lunging earlier, which is, like, what, like I mentioned, like, you need to learn the lunge range. ASAP. Because you're losing out on so many hits. But, like, yeah, also, like... Yeah. You just didn't say like this was like I just in the match but against were so shitty, but as soon as I stopped recording I had a nice match. I mean you can still send them in. Like there's no loss on not sending them in. You'll still probably learn something. In most of your games you can act on your mistakes. Or like prevent the loss. In most of the games. Yeah, she makes the unhook. Yes, go for the tunnel. Go for the tunnel. Good spawn. That's okay. I wouldn't respect Shark Pallet. Shark Pallet is this one pallet you want to get out at any cost. You respecting that gives them a lot of time. Don't respect Shark Pallet, especially when it's like... Especially when it's placed in a way, so if you break the pallet they cannot really go like left or right, because they will be just zoned. You'd never respect this pallet. Unless like you're coming from this side and going and like it's on the outside, you never respect the pallet from outside to inside. Only respect it when it's inside to outside. Because in this scenario they're just zoned, they cannot do anything. You respecting this gave them a lot of time to just keep running. I'm surprised this kept going for like 9 minutes. This game should be over like 10. Like at maximum, maybe 7. Why would you give up on that? If it was going to a loop, that's a really weak loop. Why would you stay at Hatch? Why would you stay at this shack? Give up remnant, nice, okay. Use... Bro. Chill out. Chill out, she's not gonna escape. She's like in range range, you just gave her the window for free because you just panicked. Don't panic. Stay calm. Like, I see you just throwing your mouse around trying to track her, just like wait until she stops. Like back out a bit. Don't just swing your mouse left and right, because this will not help you. Trust me. You just gave her the free window. Okay, if you didn't have Q, you didn't get that. You could have saved one stack of Q. Does this cave even have a flashlight? I don't think she even has a flashlight. Okay, she has DS. That's even a bigger incentive to go for Kate. She was going to the tile that had literally nothing there. It was a dead zone. They only had 2 windows that you can easily circumvent. And the 1 pallet in the corner there. But like, you just stay at track and delay your chase by like 20 minutes. I have problems in where to place Remnant. Send me a match review actually, because I can pretty happy with that. And then you just ignore her? Siberian, listen. There's a big rule in DBD. In most keyword most scenarios, when you have a DS used on you, you have a free fucking range to just tunnel the survivor out to death. They have no anti-tunnel left. Just fucking go for it. She gave up her last anti-tunnel, she's dead zoned. And I was trying to pressure gens. There's no better way to pressure gens than get 1/3 of the remaining gen speed out of the game. Because realistically, if you kill her now, they may pop these 2 generators, but then you might kill and get a 3k, maybe even a 4k if they fuck up. If you kill this Fang, you would guarantee a 3k. Way quicker. You're like really toying with these survivors. There's no better way to pressure generators than get someone out of the game. Yeah, 2 first, because the next survivor is also going to be in chase. If you find them. There will be only 1 survivor remaining to take 2 gens. Yeah, I just give up to go for this. This is Michaela doesn't even have hook states. They're going for someone who wasn't even hooked once. So she's going to be a fresh hook, and the best value you get out of it is painless. You're losing out on a potential kill. You're playing way too nice. Nice as in, you're playing way too friendly towards the survivors. TPD is a game of punishing the opponent's mistake. Place a remnant here, you didn't place a remnant here. That was a... Never place a remnant like that. You just gave her the entire map free of charge. When you should have placed it here, so she has either a choice of mind gaming you here, because she cannot make that tile, realistically. Because she can't see you, she can't judge what are you doing. Or she goes for this pallet. In either case, you can just hit her for free, because if she goes for pallet, you teleport to Remnant and just get the free hit. With cool. Let's add that too. Cool. I don't think I saw 1 hit that was gained just because you had cool. If you don't know the lunge range, don't run cool. Learn the lunge range, then run cool. You placing this remnant here, she can just hold W. There is nothing stopping her from just going to that side of the map. You're slow, and this remnant doesn't pressure anything. Yeah, you also break that pallet. This tile is really strong. And only in certain setups you can counterplay that without breaking the pallet. There was no reason to leave this pallet staying up. Yeah, and then she goes to Fun Bus. You gave her Fun Bus for free by that remnant placement. And then you disengage. Okay. Holy moly. At least you forced out the Shack palette. This clears too much brain, man. I mean, I'll be so honest. Like, if you're willing to send in a match review, I expect you to be willing to take a lot of information about this killer. Since this is probably one of the hardest killers in the game to get into. And he's really fun. So, like, I'm saying, like, if you're not willing to take a lot of information in about a killer that's really complicated, don't send in a match review. If you're not interested in learning so much about this character. Because this killer is a lot of macro. And a lot of micro at the same time. I'll be buried in... Who am I insulting? I'm sorry, am I insulting anyone? For now, it's just been like criticism. I am not insulting anyone, Livius. I did not insult anyone. No, I was kidding. That wasn't funny. Counterpoint? No. Okay, so again, this remnant doesn't pressure anything. There's no downside to you just holding W. Like, you have to also like judge your distance. Like, if she's at the almost end of Shack and you're only entering it, placing a remnant on a locker most of the time in this setup won't cause her to just magically go inside, especially when you slowed yourself down even further before you even went in danger zone. Like, you placing this remnant here, she's at the other edge of the Shack. You have to judge your distance to the survivor to know which remnants you can go for. Because judging your distance correctly is what decides if the survivor is going to mind game or just hold W. If they're really close and they cannot get away from you realistically just by holding W, they have to mind game you. And they're on the other side of the Shack while you're at the beginning of this wall. This is way too far and this is not going to work. You just gave her the free hold W. Also, you have to like there's a bit more niche info, but you have to start like letting go of remnant faster if you see someone not pathing towards it. On like long range remnant plays, you can do that, since it's not even like you can't realistically judge if someone's going to walk into it or not. But like on like short range or medium range remnant plays, you have to like let go faster because you're just losing out on speed. What the fuck are you doing? Wait. Siberian, respectfully, use your ears. You can see her behind this track. Place a remnant. Place a remnant on this edge of the track. And just encircle her. Meanwhile, you go around fucking turning your camera left and right when you can just fucking hear her on behind the pickup truck. What are you doing? What is going on here? Because respectfully, don't do that. I told myself that I could have placed a remnant there after. Literally. Like, not everything. Like, you don't have to. Like, placing remnant doesn't have to be only on resources, like tiles of resources. You can just use them on like long objects to shorten the amount of time it will take you to hold W to a survivor to down them. You don't need a resource to use remnant. Why would you? Dude, you have to stop disengaging so fast. This Kate is literally a free hit. You can just hold W. Just go towards her and hit her. She's not making anything. Maybe a window because you just fucking diddly-dally-do behind the fucking pickup truck, and didn't place a remnant or like didn't even hold W to her. But like, I am too afraid of losing last gen. You are literally about to get a 2k, and if they pop the last gen, you're going to get a 3k if you just find one person and camp them to death. You're playing way too nice to them. You need to start abusing their mistakes. This is not it. You literally had a free kill here. He's probably on death hook, if not on second hook. He's literally dead. And you just... Oh, no, I'm gonna go to Shack. Which, let's say if my memory serves me well, has literally no fucking progress. Like, Siberian. You have 2 regression perks in your build. One of them depends on you hooking the survivors. Why the fuck did you leave the 3 down to dry kick a generator? Dry kicking does nothing. The only situation in which you dry kick a generator is when you have a hooked survivor next to it. The only scenario in which you can dry kick a generator. Dry kicking is, by the way, dry kicking is kicking a generator without gen kick perks. The only situation in which you dry kick a generator is when a survivor is literally hooked next to it. Why did you give up your 3 down for a dry kick on a half progress generator? Like, this only has 3 pistons. It's literally no progress, realistically. You're on 1 gen. You need to get your kill. Meanwhile, you're just like giving up every opportunity to do so. You have to stop being afraid of them like actually doing gens. You have to start worrying about actually killing them. You're overprotecting the generators. You need to start actually chasing and killing. You're wasting too much of your time just going back to gens. Some people overcommit to chases. You are overcommitting to defending gens. Good on you for breaking this locker. They are too far from you to like basically act on this. They're way too far from you if you... I took the advice don't commit to chases too literally. Like, nobody ever in the world says don't commit to chases. They say don't overcommit to chases. A chase in TBD has a max duration of 1 minute. If your chase is taking longer than a minute, and you can't realistically end it like literally in 1 second, you need to disengage. Meanwhile, your chases are taking like 20 seconds maximum, if not 30. Or alternatively, they're taking like way too long. Or you just give them up for generators, which is fucking crazy. You shouldn't do that. You just fucking hit her. She has no resource to use. Just hold W and hit her with your basic attack. There is no reason to use Remnant here. Hold the W button and press M1. Please hook her on a pain risk. There's no fucking pain risk here. You just wasted so much of your pressure just to go for this random Michaela. There will be like 3 survivors dead at this point. Bro, I know I'm like repeating the same thing, but like... This game is so free to them. There were so many opportunities of you to just end the game. Like, this game should have ended like 2 minutes ago. Meanwhile, we're just giving up 3 downs and hook states for gens. That are not even high progress. Like... This is like free pistons, again. Literally almost no realistic progress and pressure on their side. But you just give up to fucking stop them from doing them, I guess. When you can just get the free kill. Don't take her to base. Thank you. Okay. Taking her to basement there would let her just wiggle out. You let them reset. Also. They just reset for free. Because he went like around the map. Nice. Get out of the locker. What are you doing? You see a survivor beelining it towards the hook. Literally seconds away from unhooking the survivor, granting you a free farm and maybe even 2 downs. But I thought that I would make it in time. You would make it in time. Even if you don't make it in time for the actual unhook, there's literally 2 survivors stacked on each other, ready to be downed quickly. You can teleport. This is nightfall. You are moving 38 meters per second while teleporting. Bro. Please at least hook her on this hook. I mean, she was painless anyway, so like you gain nothing from this. The game could have ended right there. You wasted it all to just take a hook state. You didn't need to use your cool stack. You didn't need at all to use your cool stack. You just hold W and press M1. You would not make that pallet. Hell, you would even force it out. Now, coup de grace would be actually useful here, since you probably would be able to hit her there. Nice. Exit. To be fair, okay. To be fair, just over teleported. You could have. Did you actually? Yeah, you could have teleported right there. They're not that far. Yeah. That was you over teleporting, not you not exiting the locker fast enough. That's on me. Wrong call out. Still. That's. You could have just teleported that locker instead. Okay. Good on you for recognizing that she's Death Hook, even though she used her DS. That's not on you, that's on her. You played really well. I don't know if you did, but I will just point it out. Listen to the audio. You can hear the footstep while you're blinded. Listen to them working. Also, I do that sometimes, but I can do it constantly if they are injured. You get baited way too easily. Like, I know, like, more patience. Key thing for Dredge is patience, but like, you really should not let her fake you like that. Like, I'll be so honest, man. You should not let her just fucking bait you like that. Okay, whatever. What in the fuck are you doing? Wait. That is not a flashlight. Just take her out of the locker. Don't throw the game for a cool animation. There's no incentive to not just take her out of the locker. This is not a flashlight. This is not a flashlight. Unless it is, then I'm fucking stupid. Okay. That was on me. She actually had a flashlight. Okay, that's on me. That's actually... Fuck me. That's good on you for recognizing that you can't... that they cannot blind you with a flashlight when you're in this animation. That's good on you. Sorry, that was completely my bad. That was completely on me. However, you could also just... Wait. However, you could have just lunged here and down her, like for a few seconds. Now, since your nightfall began, you could have held M2 and pressed M1 to scan the surroundings. And if you notice, this Kate is in a 60-meter range, which means you would be able to scan her and down her. That would give you 2 downs if you just lunged a bit earlier. Because downing would instantly activate Nightfall because it gives you 20 charges, which is nearly what you needed to activate Nightfall. So if you downed her and scanned your surroundings, you get 2 downs and end the game on a 4K loop 4K hatch. That's good on you for recognizing that she wouldn't be able to get that flashlight save, but you're wasting a lot of time and you also lose out on a lot of possible pressure. Because they cannot save this with a flashlight, they only can save it with a flashbang. These flashlights are not activating soon enough for the animation. Nice, okay, you actually get 2 downs. See, like, it's not that you would get them anyway, because, oh, it worked out in the end. You would get it faster, and you would get it more efficiently. Hell, if you slugged them, you would not risk the thing unhooking them. Since they already use their Unbreakable. Okay, you at least know how to scam, so my little jab that you should scan isn't like inaccurate because you know how to scan. Got the yes, as he gets the save. Yeah, like you would just like instantly end the game by just slugging them if you just launched earlier and then scanned. There were so many opportunities here to just end the game in this game, Siberian. I'll be so honest. You have to stop worrying so much about generators and actually focus on like actually promoting and ending your chases. And you have to not play nice. Don't follow a fucking don't follow a rule book. Like to a limit. Don't like tunnel at 5 gens and stuck at 5 gens, but like fucking take the opportunity if they fuck up. You could have swung for that, right? Is this lunge range? I think it is lunge range. You would make that hit. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's just a ping thing. Maybe you wouldn't hit that, but like, you know. There's a chance you would hit that if you swung. If you teleported, there's no downside to not teleporting to this. She has no resources to move to. She cannot vault that window because this window is only vaultable on that side, if I remember correctly. There's no downside to you not teleporting to this. You only close your distance for free. There's no reason for you to give up this. Yeah, this is too high. They cannot vault this from this side. Also, I think she was like past the point of like that, but like anyway. If they can vault that, fuck me. But like realistically, you don't lose out anything on this teleport. It's free distance. Close. You get this free hit. Nice. Stop fucking dragging gens, I beg you. What do I see here? It's scratch marks. They lead you to the location that is right. They went there. They went this way. What the fuck are you doing? Who are you looking for? The ghost of the Christmas past? Okay, sorry, that was a bit mean, but like... You have an in-game mechanic leading you to her location. Okay. Why would you teleport to that? There was no reason to teleport there. You had a survivor in your face? Okay. I mean, you got her, but like... And they popped the gen. You spread your hooks to hell. I think there was only like 2 or 3 times you actually like went for the tunnel and then gave up on it because you got hit by anti-tunnel. And then just didn't commit to it. This could have been a 4K2. Maybe 4K1. Because they were efficient on gens in the early game. But... Dude. Hell no. Good on you for recognizing that you may have that hard. And good on you for seeing someone here. You could have made that with coup. Okay, take off coup de grace, learn the lunge range. Because if you're playing coup de grace, you have to know the basic game lunge range to then play with coup de grace. Don't play coup de grace. Take like brutal strength, for example, or languid touch, or jagged compass. If you don't know the base game lunge range, don't play with coup. That's hooker. She could have been dead. Like... She could have been dead, like, fucking 7 minutes ago. And now one person gets out because one person at the gate, and you're getting this with friends till the end. Like, Siberian, respectfully, this was the most free 4K, and you just gave up on it for a 3K 0. If you just slugged or like tunneled. Just because of the skin? No, I like the skin. No. Okay, what do they even have? Flashlight battery, flashlight 1 battery, map, toolbox. Yeah, so they got the first 3 gens because they split on gens. I had 1 toolbox. Hope, circle of healing, that hard. Like no, that's Wycliffe. I think. Yeah, that's Wycliffe. Deja vu. DS, Iron Will, Resilience. Background player. DS, Unbreakable, Iron Will Live. Windows, Kindred, will make it Deliverance. Okay, so for your main takeaways from this match review, take off coup de grace, because you don't know the base game launch range, you're missing out on so many hits post that you could just like get for free. There were so many opportunities when I saw you just get in the launch range. Don't pull a basic attack just to get them a free pallet or a free resource or a free window. You need to take off coup de grace and start learning the base game launch range, because if you don't, then you will not get anywhere. Second of all, take off Surge, because Surge is map dependent, and I want you to run Gifts of Pain or Sloppy Butcher, or like either like maybe even Corrupt or No Way Out. Sloppy and Gifts of Pain will give you free Nightfall value, and Corrupt and No Way Out are way less map dependent and way less dependent on like anything than Surge. Third of all, if you see your perk work and give you info or something that is closer than the alternative perk in your build, act on the close. Like, if you get info on someone who is close, act on the information on the closest survivor after you hook. If you get info after you hook or after you down, act on the information that's closest to you, because it pressures one side of the map and forces the other side of the map to get off gens. You let them pressure that generator next to Shack a lot, because you went across the map to get your friends till the end value. Debatably, also take off friends till the end, because because you're like tunnel vision on getting this one fucking exposed down. That will not happen. Friends till the end is mostly used for starting a new chase and less for like actually getting the exposed down. That's why it's solid on Dredge, because you can instantly get access to the obsession. But still, like, take off Q, take off Friends till the end, and take off Surge, replace them with other perks. Because you're just like not using your information you get from these perks correctly, and you don't have enough time and experience in the game to use these perks properly. Third of all, kill people. You had so many opportunities to kill all of these survivors in the match just by maybe acting a bit mean or like just committing to your chase, but you wasted that for either like split pressuring or going for generators. This is unacceptable, because this could have been an easy 4k2 or 4k3 or 4k1, but this turned into a 3k0. This is not acceptable. You could have gotten a great result out of this game, but you just let the survivors get out and live another day. You just gave them so many opportunities to fix their mistakes. You didn't abuse like a lot of their mistakes they did. You need to work on this. Recognize what kind of play you can allow yourself to go for. If you see a survivor like across the fucking map, preferably don't place down a remnant to not slow yourself down. And preferably, if you recognize that you made a mistake, recover from it sooner. So like, just let go of your remnant faster if you see that you fucked up and you positioned it wrong. Utilize temporary remnants, because I didn't see you utilize temporary remnants a lot. A lot of these styles could be won easier, or like a lot of these races could be ended faster by temporary remnants. And for the final takeaway, I would say go around the maps and just study the lockers a bit, because I see you teleporting way too far or way too close, which just kills precious seconds you could gain. So like, recognize like the distance between a locker and the destination you're trying to go for, because you're teleporting like very inaccurately. I would work on like judging the distance between you, the destination, and the locker that is closest to the destination, because you'd over teleported a lot in this game, like way more than acceptable on a map like that isn't really known for having overlaying lockers. So yeah, I would work on that. And thank you very much for sending me a match review. We'll see you in the next review, I guess, if you plan to send that in, and if not, then I'm glad I could help you. And yeah, I hope you act on these and become a better player. Thank you so much.